All right, we now have the courtroom device connected. Hopefully folks can hear me now. Ms. Davis, are you there?
Yes, Judge, I'm here. Can you see me?
I can. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So I got an email a little while ago from an Aaliyah Smith. Do you know Ms. Smith?
Huh? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Sounds familiar.
Okay. Her email says, I will be assigned starting October 20th as Judge McBurney's trial ADA. Could you please forward
Oh,
me upcoming calendars? Do you have any news?
yes. Recently, I think I'll be moving, Judge. I'm not leaving, but I'll be moving.
And where are you going?
I think I'm going to Barwick.
Okay.
All
We'll miss you. That's very sudden. The 20th is just in a few days.
Mhm. It is. It's all of a sudden. There's a lot of movement going on in the office.
Okay, but Ms. Smith has not contacted you about assuming your caseload.
She may be one of the newer attorneys. I haven't met them all yet.
All
But
right,
don't doubt that I will connect with whoever it is.
I'm
And
sure you will. I'm not, okay, we'll see how this plays out. Gosh, next Monday. Okay, hopefully it's not one of your cases that goes out to trial, but I guess that's a Ms. Smith hill to climb.
sure we'll work
Okay.
things out.
All right. We will dive into this calendar. Let me see if I can get everyone on. Where was Ms. Nelson's email to North Booth 1? Good afternoon, Mr. Gadsden. Can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor, I can.
Great, I can hear you. Mr. Gadsden, do we have an attorney on for Mr. Gadsden?
Ms. Neil Rojas is my attorney.
Yeah.
It's probably Ms. Rios right there. Excellent.
Yes, she is.
Good afternoon, Ms. Rios. Mr. Gadsden is on for plea and arraignment. Tell me, are we waiving arraignment, doing something different?
We are doing a bond hearing also.
Okay. And this is something that, is this a case with Ms. Davis?
Should be.
All right. Ms. Davis, did you have notice that we were doing a bond hearing?
I did.
Great. All right. Well, why don't we start with that first? Let me get Mr. Gadsden's case up on my screen. All right, so you already did a waiver, Ms. Rios, for Mr. Gadsden. So we'll get a scheduling order out. Get that on the calendar. Waive, schedule. And you've got a bond motion right here. Okay. So, Mr. Gadsden, in just a moment, we're going to get on the record in your case. I'll hear from Ms. Rios. Was that a puffy pen?
Yes. I have several.
Wow. All right. Power of the puffy pen. Ms. Rios will be telling me a bit about you and why your bond should be modified. And then I'll hear from Ms. Davis. She may agree, she may disagree, and then I'll let you know what we're going to do. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Rivers, are you ready to get on the record?
Yes, I'm ready.
Great. This is 25 SC 005-535. Mr. Gadsden is charged with one count of terroristic threats, and he is currently in let's see what this says. He has a $5,000 bond through the sheriff's 10% program, which he has had since August. So it's been a couple months and he hasn't been able to post that bond. Ms. Rios, tell me about your client and why you think his bond should be lowered.
Yes, Your Honor. He has been in for, I believe, how long has he been? Like 85 days or 65 days. He's been in for a while, and he has a sick wife. She is 85, so she's a little older than him, and she's in a hospital right now, and she needs him to take care of her. He's a veteran. He doesn't have any children, so there's no one else to take care of his wife. It's just him. I know his bond is not very high, but he can't make it. They can't afford a $5,000 bond. So I'm hoping we can do as low as possible. I'm not sure if you can do like $500, but just something because they just are not able to afford anything right now.
The alleged victim in the case is Shemelis, Shemelis, Dinegie, Dinegie. Do you know who that person is to Mr. Gadsden?
Brother, I do
Or
not.
finally, is that his wife?
No, I don't believe that's his wife.
Okay.
Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure that it's not his wife.
It's not his wife, Judge.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have an issue of, hey, he should get out to take care of his wife, but he's actually supposed to stay away from his wife because he's supposed to stay away from whoever this person is. He needs to not be within 200 yards of that person. But it sounds like that's not his wife. Okay. And does Mr. Gadsden have a place to stay? Is there a stable household? You mentioned the wife was in a hospital, so I don't see how Mr. Gadsden would directly be taking care of her if she's in the hospital.
Well, I think she fell. That's why she's in the hospital, but I think she should be getting out soon.
Okay.
Yeah, but he did give me an address that I can provide the court.
Okay. And that's where he and his wife would be.
Yes.
I have an address on Vine Street in Union City. Mr. Gadsden, is that where you'd be staying?
Yes, Your Honor.
And who else would be in that household besides you and your wife?
Just me and my wife, and she's currently out of the hospital now, and she fell in. I've basically been taking good care of her, and I apologize for my incident that happened.
Let's not talk about the facts, though.
But yes, I need to be with my wife. She's 85 years old, you know.
Okay.
We've been married for 15 years.
Well, I'm glad you guys have found each other. Ms. Jackson, good afternoon. Can you tell me how many cycles Mr. Gadsden has?
There are 31 cycles.
And what are the most recent 3, please?
Okay. Let me give you the last arrest that I have. It was August the 3rd, 2018 in DeKalb County for forgery. And I'm going to have to pull that file back up just a moment.
No, that's okay. So the most recent you've got other than this incident is way back in 2018.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Davis, what are your thoughts about lowering the bond? It is not a high number, but it is an unreachable number given Mr. Gadsden's means.
Judge, we believe that the bond as it stands is a reasonable bond for the alleged offense. I also have concerns about him actually coming to court because some of the allegations for the underlying charge seem to be that the defendant may be unhoused, but we're not in agreement that it should be reduced.
Okay. Ms. Rios, can you tell me more about Mr. Gadsden and where he stays? You've told me there's this address where his wife is, but I want to reconcile that with whatever this case may be about.
Yes, Your Honor. I was not aware. I always, when I come to talk to my clients, ask them if they need housing or anything like that. But he said he has a place to stay, and he's with his wife. So I don't believe he's unhoused. So I'm not sure why that's a concern.
Okay. Ms. Davis, can you amplify on that a little bit? And I know you may be getting into, look, these are the allegations. That's okay. You can share that with me. I don't want Mr. Gadsden to be talking about what he thinks happened.
Yes, Judge, the threat of violence was regarding the victim telling the defendant that he could not sleep in that parking lot. And that's when the threats were made.
Got it. Okay. Understood. So, Mr. Gadsden, I'm curious, you don't need to answer this. It's not going to affect the outcome here, but is there a reason why you might have been spending the night somewhere other than home with your wife?
I was on alcohol, you know what I'm saying? I was just tired and I just laid my head in the parking lot. That's all it was, you know. But I have a residence to stay, and like I said, I've been with my wife for 15 years, you know. So I'm stable, but I just was on alcohol. That's all it was, you know. And
Okay.
I just passed out.
Okay. I want to make sure I understood what you said. You said you were on alcohol, meaning you had been drinking?
Yes, I've been drinking.
Okay.
I just passed out. That's all.
Okay. Got it. All right. So, Mr. Gadsden, I am going to reduce your bond to $2,500, still through the sheriff's 10% program. And I'm going to add as a special condition of your bond that you not consume any alcohol while you are on bond. That's not a forever condition, but if you're on bond, if you're able to post that bond, you'll need to drink Coca-Cola or Pepsi. I won't dictate what soft drink it is, or water or milk, but no alcohol while you're on bond. We'll talk about this again if time passes and you're not able to make that bond amount, but I will reduce it at this point. And if we need to have another conversation that's not, hey, let's resolve the case, then we can revisit bond after the passage of another month or so. Ms. Rios, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Ms. Davis, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gadsden, your lawyer is going to get the discovery in this case, meaning all the paperwork that the police provided to the prosecutor. And then she's going to talk to you about that, and you and she will come up with a plan of action about, hey, we ought to work this out, or we need to try to suppress something, or whatever your lawyer thinks the right step is. And based on that decision, we'll figure out when I see you next, okay?
Hey, Your Honor, I was ready to take a plea anyway to try to get out and take care of my wife.
All right, we'll talk to Ms. Rios about that. She's going to give you the pros and cons of sorting it out. And if she agrees with you, we don't need to wait. We can get you back here in person on one of our next available calendars, all right?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. Appreciate your time. You're free to go.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Rios, hopefully I'll see you. Did you put me in for the bail bonding project?
We'll talk about that, but yes.
Okay.
You have a very pleasant client, Ms. Rios.
Yes.
Too bad he may have yelled at this other person. All right, we can mute that and move on to the next one. Oop. Mr. McCrary is not in 7 North Booth 1. Anyone on from the sheriff's office who knows where Mr. McCrary might be? He's position 2.
Yes, sir. He's in medical on SOS watch.
Okay, so not available today.
No, sir.
Got it. We will reset Mr. McCrary. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Judge McBurney.
Ms. Wood.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just wanted to let you know, I went ahead and filed a waiver on this one. So if we want to just do a scheduling order, that's perfectly all right.
We'll do that. Are you aware of Mr. McCrary's well-being?
Yes, Judge, we're on it.
Got it. Thank you. So you did the waiver. We don't need to reset it. We'll get the scheduling order out. And do you know Aaliyah Smith?
I do not, but
Okay, well, you'll get discovery from Aaliyah Smith and not Rashida Davis. So
I'm
hopefully
upset about that, Judge, by the way.
all I can say is no one asked me. That is what I will say. I learned about it while I was at lunch, shared my dismay with a couple of colleagues, and we all sort of shook our heads, and it's the current musical chairs. And you hope that you get something kind of close to what you had. So I wish Ms. Davis the best. Just seems like a retiring judge. You don't need to do something like that to the rest of us, but here we are. So I'm going to try to move on from that, which brings me to the next case. Let's see where he is. So someone's supposed to be in 5 South Booth 1, but I don't have a 5 South even on here. Do we know? I'm looking for Patrick Williams.
I'm right here.
Oh, let's see. Did you just raise your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep raising. Oh, there's 5 South Booth 1. I don't know why I couldn't find it. Boom. There you are. Sorry about the confusion on my part. Mr. Williams, I'm Judge McBurney. Your case is on for plea and arraignment. Looks like Ms. Rios is representing you. Ms. Rios, what are we doing today with Mr. Williams?
I filed a waiver, so we just need a scheduling order. I'll be working on getting Mr. Williams some services.
Okay. Mr. Williams, Ms. Rios has filed some paperwork that serves as your entry of a not guilty plea. That means she'll get discovery soon about your case, and then she and maybe members of her team will be meeting with you to see if there are some options that will get you connected with resources that might help out with whatever's going on in your life. And Ms. Rios will make sure to let me know when we're ready to move your case forward, okay?
All right.
Any questions?
No.
All right, appreciate your patience. You are good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Think we're up with our interpreter next based on this name, but let me look. Yep, this is your case. 2.2.
Creo yo. No, puedo la pantalla grande.
Good afternoon. Are you Mr. Gamba Mateus?
Buenas tardes, ¿es usted el señor Gamba Mateos?
Buenas tardes.
Perdón.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
And are you Mr. Gamba Mateus?
¿Y usted es el señor Gamba Mateos?
Yes, sir.
Great. We're going to rely on the interpreter unless you feel like you don't need an interpreter for this conversation.
Vamos a confiar en la intérprete para que haga la interpretación, a menos que usted considere que no necesita una intérprete.
Está bien.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Ms. Rios, are you representing Mr. Gamba Mateus?
Señorita Ríos, ¿usted representa al señor Gamba Mateos?
Yes, Your Honor. I did go ahead and file a waiver.
Sí, su señoría. Yo presenté una exención.
I did speak with him at the jail. I had a coworker who happened to be at the jail, and she spoke Spanish, so we got through most things.
Yo fui a la cárcel y estaba ahí una colega que habla español, así que repasamos la mayor parte de las cosas.
I did confuse him a little bit. His bond is $7,500. I think I was looking at a different sheet where it had more. So if we could, that was the question he had, was what his bond was, which is $7,500.
Me parece que yo había visto otro papel, pero el papel correcto para la fianza son $7,500. Y esa es la pregunta que él tenía, que de cuánto era su fianza.
I think we're good to move forward to the next court date since I filed the waiver.
Desde que yo presenté la exención, creo que estamos listos para proseguir en la fecha más próxima posible.
Your lawyer has entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
Su abogado ha presentado de su parte una declaración de no culpable.
She will get discovery, meaning police reports, things like that.
Ella va a obtener las pruebas que se vayan a exponer en su caso, tales como el informe de la policía y cosas así.
She will then meet with you to discuss the state's evidence.
Y luego ella se va a reunir con usted para ver cuáles son las pruebas que tiene la fiscalía en su contra.
Ms. Davis, will this be a case for Ms. Smith or does this goes to Ms. Nix? Okay.
¿Este caso es para la señorita Smith o la señorita Nix?
This is mine, Your Honor.
Es mío, su señoría.
Okay. Ms. Nix, you'll be getting discovery to Ms. Rios.
Entonces,
It may have already been served. Let me see.
entonces usted, licenciada Nix, le tiene que pasar la información a la abogada Ríos.
Yes, it
Me-
looks like it was served yesterday.
Sí, me parece que ya ayer se le entregó.
Excellent. So then Ms. Rios ought to be out to see you fairly soon, Mr. Gamba Mateus.
Excelente. Entonces la señorita licenciada Ríos estará para verlo muy pronto.
Do you have any,
Gamba Mateos.
do you have any questions, sir?
Señor, ¿usted tiene alguna pregunta?
No, está bien.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Nice meeting you and we will see you soon.
Gusto en conocerlo y lo veremos pronto.
Muchas gracias. Muchas
Thank you
gracias.
very much.
Gracias, Mr. Rios.
Thank you, Ms. Rios.
All right.
Judge, do you have Teams on, please?
Puede salir.
Ms. Nix, are you staying in this courtroom or are you part of the great shuffle, capital G, capital S?
Told me anything.
Okay. All right.
May the interpreter be excused, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate your patience. Waiting for this position. You need to sign your magic paper?
Yes, thank you. I approach.
Yep. You, let me here. You go. All right, take care. Good afternoon, Mr. Simpson. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. I'm Judge McBurney. It's nice to meet you. You have a case on the plea and arraignment calendar here. Ms. Rios, I think this is your case.
Yes, Your Honor. I also filed a waiver and looking into getting Mr. Simpson some services, so we're good to move forward.
All right. And Ms. Nix, I think this would be your case.
This is Michael Simpson?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir, this is mine. I'll let the court know that I do need to re-indict this case. There is a problem with some of the language in the indictment.
Okay. Is it 4 counts of failure to register? That's what shows up on the calendar. Okay. And your re-indictment will keep it at 4 counts and clean up some language or?
Yes.
Okay. How is this multiple, is that multiple cycles of not registering or I don't have the indictment in front of me. I'm just curious how it works with multiple counts.
I actually don't have it in front of me.
Oh, I can pull it up. I just was,
Got it right.
okay.
I believe so. I kind of just briefly looked at this case. just to make sure that the indictment was correct, and I realized it was not. And so
Okay.
that's why,
Well, while you're looking at Mr. Simpson, Ms. Rios is your lawyer, and she's filed some paperwork on your behalf saying not guilty at this time, that will move things along, which is what I know we all want. She'll get discovery in the case, police reports, sheriff's reports, whatever there is, meet with you to talk about that. And it also sounds like her team, which includes social services workers, are looking at some opportunities for you outside of jail, which is always a good thing. And we'll keep moving the case forward. It also sounds like there's some technical issue with the indictment, and the prosecutor, whose voice you've been hearing here, is going to be re-indicting, not because there's something else you supposedly did, but just to make sure the indictment is correct in its format. Is that a fair summary, Ms. Nix?
yes, sir. And it is 4 years of not reporting, and it is just an incorrect. The underlying offense is the incorrect one.
Okay. All right. Well, you can talk with Ms. Rios about it. She may be willing to waive a defect if it's a resolvable case, but if you re-indict, it's not changing things substantively. So it's not like there's another bunch of discovery that you're getting to the defense. All right. Ms. Rios, anything else on behalf of Mr. Simpson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Simpson, do you have any questions for me?
My question was, I went to court in Judge Washington courtroom, and she had me thinking that she had dismissed all the cases that they bringing in the courtroom today. And she told me I had a clean slate, and she told me I need to leave it alone because she thought I wasn't gonna be able to nothing in Atlanta. And I told her I was born and raised right here in Atlanta. I think I'm gonna be okay. And she told me I was free to go. So I'm on the street thinking that I ain't got to report to sexual offense, whatever they had on me, sexual offense. I didn't think I had to report to her because she dismissed the probation and everything. And plus I had completed my probation anyway.
Okay, I'm hearing you, Mr. Simpson. I think Ms. Rios is going to talk to you about that, but there are certain obligations that remain for someone who is convicted of particular crimes even after probation is done. So everything you're saying may be right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not agreeing with you. That's not what today is for. But even after you're done with your sentence, there may be a requirement that you register. But Ms. Rios will talk to you about it, and she'll certainly meet with the prosecutor to say, well, wait a minute. He thought he was done with his sentence. This wasn't an intentional thing. The kind of charge you have is typically worked out rather than it goes to trial. But we're going to do what you and your lawyer decide you want. Trial, try to come up with a plea. Maybe it's something the state needs to dismiss. Maybe there was an issue with the state's case. The important thing is that you cooperate with Ms. Rios. When she comes out to talk with you, you share with her the kinds of things you shared with me, okay?
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay, I had worked in 15 years through 8. When I got out, I had 7 years on probation, not done that. So I'm thinking I'm in the clear.
You're thinking you're done with your probation.
I had done my probation. I was 7 years probation.
Okay. Well, let me ask, we have a different Simpson on this call who knows some stuff about probation. Ms. Simpson, is Mr. Simpson on probation right now?
Yes, Judge, he is. And in fact, he just had a revocation on October 3rd with Judge Brooks for a failure to report. And I was going to advise that he's going to need another revocation because these charges were not addressed.
Okay. All right. Well, that's helpful for Ms. Rios to hear because she'll want to weave that in with the work she's doing with Mr. Simpson. So thank you for flagging that. Mr. Simpson, it sounds like we've got a bit to work out. Ms. Rios will be there to see you soon and start that conversation. And then when it's appropriate for me to get involved, she'll make sure that you get brought over here so we can all be in the same room talking about this, okay?
How can I get some information from the courtroom that I was in 2021?
Ms. Rios can help you with that when you can tell her a little bit more about it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Anything else, Ms. Rios?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Next position is Stacy Williams. However, Ms. Nelson shares with me that Sanford Wallach has entered an appearance for Mr. Williams. Ms. Nix, this is your case. And Mr. Wallach filed a waiver, so you'll get discovery once you get that scheduling order to Mr. Wallach, and we'll move the case along.
Okay, it's already been requested.
Excellent. Less than 10 years old. Okay.
And that's, they just didn't delete that language. That is actually my case. It's not a child case.
Okay.
But
Got
this
it.
is my last case, may be excused.
Yes, ma'am. Wallach and Nix, and you are continuing to assert that you're still assigned to this courtroom. Okay. All right.
We did get a new ADA in the adult sex crimes unit, so I don't think anything's changing for us.
Okay.
Not on what it was.
It's Terroristic Threats Day. Here's our third case. Let's see who is. Who's up? Good afternoon, Mr. Stevens. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. Do we have counsel for Mr. Stevens on?
He's mine, Judge.
Excellent. There you are. What are we doing today with Mr. Stevens? He's on for plea and arraignment.
Yes, Judge. So I've already been speaking with Ms. Davis about this one. I'm hopeful we'll have a resolution soon. I just need to square some things away. He's from Washington State, and so I'm trying to get in touch with some people there so that we'll have a good plan in place. So I've already filed the waiver, so we'll waive formal arraignment, enter a plea of not guilty for now.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Mr. Stevens, when Ms. Wood says you're from Washington, as in you were just visiting in Atlanta, or you grew up in Washington, but you've been in Georgia for 3 years?
I've never been to Georgia a day in my life, sir. I live in Washington State.
Okay. Well, you've clearly been in Georgia for more than a day in your life now, because you've been here for a little while.
Yeah.
But whatever happened in this case, good, bad, ugly, I'm not asking you to comment on that. That's something that happened here, or you got arrested in Seattle and got dragged to Georgia and you're wondering what's going on?
Judge, it's an electronic case. I'm going to speak with Mr. Stevens.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Stevens, here's what's going to happen next. The prosecutor will get discovery, their paperwork, whatever proof they think they have, to Ms. Wood. She will review it. She'll review it with you, and then she will work with you to figure out, what are we doing next? Are we working the case out? Is there a motion that's going to be filed and argued, or what? But she will keep you posted about what we're doing next. Okay?
Okay.
Ms. Davis, anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Stevens, do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Wood will be out to see you soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. You're good to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Good afternoon. Are you Mr. Is it pronounced Roby?
Yes, Roby.
All right, Mr. Roby, I'm Judge McBurney, and your case is on for plea and arraignment. Ms. Wood, also your case?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Roby, we've got the prosecutor here in court. Ms. Wood, are we doing anything beyond waiver and scheduling?
No, Your Honor, I've already filed the waiver. I've already received initial discovery from Mr. Abadi, and I will be out to see Mr. Roby soon to start talking about the case.
Okay. Mr. Roby, this is all a good sign. I know you've been in jail for a few months now, but the prosecutor's already gotten discovery to your lawyer. There may be some things that are missing, not because the state's hiding something, but given the nature of your charges, there's some things that may go through the crime lab, and that takes a little while for processing. But it sounds like the state is handing over what it has right now. And we'll just move the case along based on what you and your lawyer decide you're going to do. Do you have any questions about your situation?
No questions.
Okay, Mr. Abadi, anything from the state? All right, then we will see you, Mr. Roby, at the next juncture, whether that's a motions hearing or what we call final plea, which is an opportunity to resolve the case short of trial. Given your charges, that isn't a date where a whole lot happens, but we'll see. Okay.
All right.
All right. You too. Is Mr. Niang in one of the booths?
I don't see him, Judge.
No, the booth he's in wasn't on the call, so I'm going to try to add it. Let's see. There he is. Are you Mr. Niang?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Nyang, N-I-A-N-G. Nyang.
Thank you. Got it. Mr. Nyang. I'm Judge McBurney, and I have your lawyer, Ms. Wood, on the screen. You should be able to see her, and the prosecutor, who is dressed like Johnny Cash today, in all black. We're going to talk a little bit about your case. It's not a new case, but it's new to us because you missed court back in the day. So, Ms. Wood, what are we doing today with Mr. Nyang?
Well, Judge, I have also been speaking to Ms. Davis about this case. I was hopeful we could resolve it today, but he's going to be returning to live in New York, and so I'm trying to connect with some family members. I want to be confident before we take a plea on this case. So I went ahead and filed a waiver, and I hope to add him back to a calendar real soon to resolve the case.
Okay. Mr. Nyang, the waiver is simply your lawyer saying, for now, we're entering a plea of not guilty. That doesn't lock you into any particular course of action. That will allow Ms. Wood to get the discovery. That's the paperwork in your case, the police report, if there's video, all that kind of stuff. She can meet with you about that. It sounds like your case has a little complication in that maybe you're going to want to get back to New York. You've got family there, and that just needs to be coordinated a bit because, and I'm not saying this is how the case will work out, but if you were going to get probation's supposed to be in Georgia and not up in New York, but it can be transferred. That just takes a little planning, and it sounds like Ms. Wood and her colleagues are working on some of that kind of planning.
Yeah, yes, but I have a new address. I have address over here too.
Okay, well, that's the kind of thing you can tell Ms. Wood about, and it may be if you've got a stable, safe address in Georgia, that'll make things move even faster. But Ms. Wood is going to want to see the discovery in the case to see how strong or weak the state's case is, and then she will talk to you about it. And what I heard her say is, this is a case that ought to be resolved, and she would like to get you here into court very, very soon. And I bet that's what she's going to do. So you just need to cooperate with her, and she'll move it along, okay?
Okay.
Do you have other questions, Mr. Niang?
No, I don't have a other question.
Okay. Ms. Davis, anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Wood, anything else?
No, Judge, thank you.
All right. We'll see you soon, sir. You're good to go right now.
Can I ask you a question?
You can.
I can't, I'm asking you, how about my next call?
Your next court. So that depends on the conversation you have with Ms. Wood. Like I mentioned, she's going to get all the paperwork in your case and then meet with you to talk about that. And you two will talk about what are we doing next? Are we coming into court because we want to work the case out? Are we coming into court because the police did something wrong and we need to talk to the judge about that? Or what? And Ms. Wood can't know all that until she gets the paperwork, and then she'll come talk to you, okay?
Okay, can I ask Mr. Wood a question, please?
Well, as long as it's not about the facts of your case, you can, but she's gonna come out and see you soon. Do you want to just save it till then, or is it urgent?
I'm just trying to ask him when he able to come see me.
Yes, Judge. So I met with him on Monday. I'm going to be back out hopefully next week, so I'll have a little more information to share with him.
Sure. So early next week is the answer. She'll come see you. She doesn't want to come out there till she gets this paperwork so that she's got more to talk to you about. And I know that we're pretty busy tomorrow with a calendar where Ms. Wood has some other clients. So it sounds like early next week she's going to come see you and she can talk about when you're coming to court next. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, two more on the main calendar. Let's see. Two. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Boy, your glass is scratched up. Mr. Andrews, you're on the calendar because you were supposed to be in court one day back in the day and you didn't make it. So I signed a warrant and we're figuring out what we're doing next. Ms. Rios, your case.
Yes, Your Honor. I did file a motion to set aside the bench warrant.
All right. Let me see if I can find that. All right, I've got it. It says set aside the bench warrant. I'm glad I read it. Okay. Let's get on the record in this case. 25 SC 000-719. Mr. Andrews is appearing from the county jail. Ms. Rios is appearing from an alternate location. And this is Ms. Davis's case for 48 more hours. And she is appearing virtually as well. So Ms. Rios, tell me why you think I ought to set aside the bench warrant.
He missed court because he never got notice. I spoke with I believe his wife or significant other. She should be on the Zoom, but there's never received it. And with the mail issues, I think it's a likelihood they didn't get it. And so he would have come to court if he knew that he had court. He has a stable address that we can update in the system to make sure he has the no court date. I have good contact information for him. And so we can ensure that he will not be missing court again. So I don't believe I think that was the only reason that he missed court, was that he didn't get the notice. A little background about him. He's 45 years old. He has 4 children that he needs to be out to take care for. He's on disability because he has some nerve damage. So I'm asking that you just set aside the bench warrant and reinstate his bond.
All right. Let me look up a few things here. So I guess it was plea and arraignment in August that he missed. So let me find the corresponding summons. All right, Mr. Andrews, tell me what your address is now.
It's the same 321 Rob David Abernathy.
I heard you say Ralph David Abernathy. What's the street number?
321.
I did
Let's
not.
say one number at a time.
321.
321. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what's in the system as your address, and that's the address to which the summons was sent. I'm looking at it right now. It was not returned to court. It was delivered, and it was sent to 321 Ralph David Abernathy. Okay. Ms. Davis, what do you want to share?
Yes, Judge. We would be opposed to setting aside his bench warrant because we do believe that he is also in violation of his bond conditions. His bond that was issued on February 8th, 2024 stated that he's had to have no drugs unless they're a prescription. And Mr. Andrews picked up a new case as 25 PI 006002, and it involves drugs. It is a case that's here in Fulton County. And he picked up that case on July 25th of this year.
Got it. Okay. Ms. Jackson, how many cycles for Mr. Andrews? And what was the most recent that you've got?
Mr. Andrews has 21 cycles. The last arrest that I have is July the 25th, 2025, for possession of Schedule II controlled substance and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. There's no disposition for that arrest.
Do you have any failures to appear? I don't mean to create search projects for you. Did your research into his criminal history show any FTAs?
Okay, I can go back into it. I can tell you right now, he appears to be on probation while I'm pulling that case up again for you.
Okay. Ms. Simpson, can you tell us about probation and Mr. Andrews, please?
Yes, Judge. He is currently, he has a probation warrant for case 23 SC 186698. And he currently has 3 years, 3 months, and 20 days remaining.
Okay. And are you able to tell what the charges were on that case?
Yes, Judge. It is for a 1 count of possession with intent to distribute cocaine.
Okay. Got it. Ms. Rios, anything you want to add?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
I see there's an FTA February the 7th, 2024, in Fulton County. I'm still scrolling. And there was one October the 5th, 2005 in Fulton County.
Okay. That's far enough back. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Andrews, I can see a few reasons why setting aside the bench warrant's not a great idea right now. Probably the most prominent is you got another warrant anyway, from probation. You've got these new charges, which were inconsistent. Hold on, were inconsistent with your bond, and this wouldn't be your first FTA. And then finally, the evidence I have is that this notice was sent to your address. And I'm not saying you got it, but it wasn't sent to the wrong place, and you were on active supervision both with pretrial and with probation, and didn't make it to court. So share with me what you.
I came to court on that. I came to court on that case one time, and I told my lawyer that I had this problem. I had this problem once before about the letter not getting to him. That's how I caught the order failure to appeal. When I came to court, I had gave them my phone number, told them to call my phone. You know what I'm saying? I would not miss no court on nothing like this, Your Honor. I promise I wouldn't.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to take you at your word that you wouldn't miss court. You've got a warrant holding you, and you got arrested for drugs while you were out on bond for this drug case. So
I'm telling you, it wasn't no drugs there. It was a plate that they tried to accuse that something was on the plate. It wasn't nothing on no plate.
okay, well, I don't want to get into substance of either this case or the new charges, but given the probation warrant, I'm going to keep you where you are. Ms. Rios has some work to do with you. My guess is she's going to want to try to resolve. You got a few irons in the fire here. You've got a probation revocation. You've got the case that's indicted with me, which is from an arrest back in February of last year. You've got your July arrest from this year. And she's going to want to help you tie all this up so that you don't have loose ends and keep getting locked up. You want to be out with your family, and if there's a safe way to do that, then we ought to do it. But it does look like you and drugs have been not getting along with each other for a while. So I'm going to leave you where you are for now, and I will see you. Ms. Rios, have you done a waiver already?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, then that's going to move the case along. You did, 2 days ago you did. So we'll get discovery out, and the state will get discovery out, and we'll get you back here soon, Mr. Andrews.
You know how soon?
What I know is that Ms. Rios will get the discovery, and then she will come talk to you. She's going to probably want to learn a little bit about your new arrest as well. And
the police was messing with me because he does not like me. Because I told him to stop searching my car. It wasn't nothing in there.
I'll come out there, Mr. Andrews, and we'll talk about it, okay?
All right. She'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm Judge McBurney, and you are our third of three with bench warrants. So you were supposed to be in court. I'm going to look it up in just a minute. You missed court, and we need to figure out how best to move your case forward and see if there's anything we need to do with that bench warrant. Let me pull your case up. Looks like Ms. Wood, you've already filed a waiver and a motion to set aside the bench warrant. So let's get on the record in your case, Mr. Jones. It's 24 SC 002 181. You are appearing from the county jail, and Ms. Wood and Ms. Davis are both on Zoom as well. Ms. Wood, why should I set aside the bench warrant?
Yes, Judge. So he actually missed a final plea date last October. I looked in the system. Notice was actually sent out on October 9th, 2024 to an address that was previously in Odyssey. That's actually that's the stay away address for his bond order. And so Odyssey right now is showing his current address and the old address. I'm not sure if I file another change of address form, if that will delete the old one. But in any event, I did just pull it up, and the hearing notice was sent to the Haven court address. And so I've got his current addresses in the system. I have a good phone number for him. He lives with his mom. He's got ample community ties. So he's been in custody about a month, Judge. I'm just asking you to lift the bench warrant and we can work this case out on the outside.
Okay, I do see that there are 2 addresses in the system. One is in Decatur. I guess that's the more recent, most current address, and more importantly, not the stay away address.
Right.
And then the stay away address is the other address listed.
Yes, the Haven court address.
Yeah, and you're saying if I look up whatever notice was sent for the final plea, that went to the stay away address. And so it would be bad if Mr. Jones said, of course I got it. I went to my mailbox to get it.
Right.
Okay. That's frustrating. And when was final plea?
It was October 22nd of last year.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, of last year.
Yes.
Okay, so there are a million notices that went out. Let's see.
I think it should be the second or third one on that list, Judge, from October the 9th.
Okay. So here's one that went to Second Chance. That's not the one we need. One that went to Haven Street. One that went to you. So you knew. Let's see what these other 3 are. Another Second Chance, another Haven Street. So they're just in there twice. Okay. All right. So Ms. Davis, it looks like the notice was sent out to the very address that Mr. Jones had been told to stay away from.
Yes.
Given
Good
given
news,
that-
he didn't go there. So yeah, we understand that this probably should be set aside.
Okay. Mr. Jones, tell me where you will go if you get out again.
3520 River Chase Drive, Decatur, Georgia, 30032.
And who lives there besides you?
My mother.
And your mom is okay with you staying there?
Yes, sir.
Are you working?
Yes, sir. I'm working for a demolition company through a friend, a childhood friend. We were working together through a demolition company. I was trying to get the address, but I don't have my phone.
Okay. But it sounds like that's a job you can go back to because it's through a friend.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Mr. Jones, I'm going to set aside the bench warrant. It sounds like we sent it to the wrong place. We're going to need to try to clear up in the system to delete that other address so it will only go to one place. And Ms. Wood, I guess sounds like if this was on final plea, we're at the cusp. We just ought to put it on another final plea calendar.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Add to final plea. Okay. Anything else, Ms. Wood, on behalf of Mr. Jones?
No, Your Honor. So, Mr. Jones, I'm going to give your mom a call. So make sure she saves my number for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. So that means I've been released, right? I can.
Yes, it may not be today, Mr. Jones. We got to fill out some paperwork and get it out to the jail. But what I found is exactly what your lawyer said, which is we sent the notice to the wrong place. That's not on you. That's on us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you will get out in the next day or so. Go live with your mom. Don't go near Haven Street, and certainly make sure that you stay away from the Harrises, Robert Harris Jr., and Ms. Singh. Okay? I think I remember a little bit about this case. So I'll see you next for a final plea calendar, the kind of thing you missed last time. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Wood.
You're welcome.
All right. You take care.
You do the same.
Thanks, Ms. Wood. I think that's it for you today.
Yes, Judge. Thank you. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye. Ms. Rios, you can go too with your puffy pens.
Thank you. See you next week. I don't think I see you anymore this week.
You act like it's some celebratory thing. It means less candy.
I can go to the store.
All right. This is free. All right. See you around.
Okay.
Mr. Bernard, if you could turn your camera on, please.
Hey, Judge.
Hey there. Let me add you to the spotlight and activate the mic. 6 North, booth 1. Ms. George, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I can.
Excellent. All right. My understanding, Mr. Bernard, is that this is on for a non-negotiated plea?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Davis, you good to go on this one?
Yes, Judge, I'm ready.
All right. Let's get on the record. This is 25 SC 002-332, State versus Mario George. Ms. George is appearing from the county jail. Mr. Bernard is on virtually, as is Ms. Davis. Ms. George, before we get into the specifics of the plea conversation that we're going to have, I need to get on the record that you are willing to proceed from where you are. You're at the jail and you're not here in court. Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. You also don't have Mr. Bernard right next to you. He is in his office or wherever he is, but it's not exactly where you are, which means it's a little more complicated if you had a confidential question for him. Are you okay proceeding in that format?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you need to speak to him privately, let me know. I can drop the two of you into a breakout room where no one else can hear what you're talking about. I trust he's already talked to you about the plea and what to expect, but if something comes up, will you let me know?
Yes, sir, I will.
All right.
And Judge, for the record, I did go and speak with Ms. George yesterday. So we did speak about the plea and that it would be non-negotiated, what I'd be asking for, et cetera.
Great. Okay. So there shouldn't be any surprises, Ms. George, other than whatever sentence I give you. But if something comes up that doesn't make sense or is going differently than you expected, let me know. Wave your hands, interrupt, do what you need to do, and we'll work through whatever your question or concern is. Okay? I didn't hear what you said.
Yes, sir, that's fine.
Great. Okay. Ms. Davis, when you're ready.
Ms. George, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you will give in this matter before the court shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Please state your true, correct, and legal name.
My name was legally changed. It is Akari Marie George. My birth name was Mario Maurice George.
Can you spell your first name in your legally changed name?
MARIOGERGE. And my legally changed name is Akari. It's spelled AKHARI.
Got it.
Are you at this time under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Is there any medication that you normally take that you have not taken today?
No, ma'am.
How old are you and how far have you gone in school?
I'm 36 and I did complete community college.
Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Do you understand that you're charged with the following offense in indictment 25 SC 002-332, conspiracy to commit a felony?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges? And if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your lawyer, Mr. Bernard, about all the facts and circumstances known to you regarding this indictment, including any potential defenses?
Yes, I have.
Do you need more time to discuss this case with your attorney?
No.
Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, I am.
Attorney Bernard, do you waive formal reading of this indictment and any and all defects therein for the purposes of this plea?
We do waive.
Ms. George, do you remember being arrested on these charges?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, the state's unaware of any outstanding warrants related to this matter. Mr. Bernard, are you aware of any outstanding warrants related to this case?
I'm not.
Ms. George, has your attorney advised you the minimum and maximum sentence for the charge to which you are pleading to today?
Yes, ma'am.
It is a minimum of 1 year and a max of 2.5 years.
Yes, that's correct.
Do you understand that if you plead, do you understand that you're entering a blind plea or a non-negotiated plea and the state will still make a recommendation to the court?
Yes.
Do you understand the court can impose any sentence authorized by law, including a higher sentence that's recommended by the state up to the maximum sentence on the charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or any special conditions of probation without being subject to revocation for the balance of that sentence?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Do you understand that you're not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on other convictions in this jurisdiction as well as other jurisdictions, including federal courts?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction at a trial would? And that's true regardless of any advice by your attorney or anyone else.
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm or use a firearm in a crime, you'd be guilty of a felony, which may carry a sentence from 1 to 15 years in prison?
Yes, I understand.
Do you understand there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be following a trial?
Yes.
For example, your guilty plea may affect the right to vote, to hold public office, to serve on a jury, to obtain a passport, to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment.
Yes, I understand.
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up the following rights? And I'm going to go over 9 and then ask you, do you understand, okay? You're giving up the right to a trial by jury, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to the assistance of counsel hired by you or to court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at a trial of your case, the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to testify on your own behalf and present other evidence, the right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence, the right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Do you understand that you may have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have only 4 years from the day for the felony charge to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this guilty plea?
Yes, I understand.
How do you plead to the charges in indictment 25 SC 002332, conspiracy to commit a felony?
I'm guilty.
Has anyone forced you, threatened you, or
No.
promised you anything to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with the full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state believes the evidence which show at trial that on between the dates of March 4th, 2024 and March 14th, 2024, that officers responded to and were notified of a suspicious package that was received at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. That location is 901 Rice Street in Atlanta, Georgia, in Fulton County. This package contained contraband. It was delivered to the jail on March 11, 2024, and it was addressed to the co-defendant, Mr. Martavius Gay. The package contained 2 books, Midnight and the Meaning of Love. The books included strips of drug-laced paper, and it was modified on that book. The officers retrieved that package and were able to determine that it did contain a drug-like substance, which is a prohibited item for any inmates in the jail. Upon a further investigation, they were able to determine that those books were shipped by the defendant Ms. George. Your Honor, we are making the same recommendation that was provided to the co-defendant, and that would be a sentence of 1 year to serve 9 months and the balance suspended with no further violations of the law. And then we would also ask for the defendant to have no contact with the co-defendant, Mr. Gay.
All right. Let me check one thing before we pivot.
Can I speak to Mr. Bernard privately for a second?
You'll get a chance, Ms. Schwartz. I'm going to start with someone other than your lawyer, then I'll hear from Mr. Bernard, and then I actually have some questions for you, and you'll get to share what you want to share. I'm just looking something up about Mr. Gay. Okay. All right. Ms. Jackson, can you share with me criminal history information, if any, on Ms. George?
There are 34 cycles. They're multi-state arrests. The last arrest was July the 20th, 2025 out of Tennessee for theft by shoplifting and a fugitive by another state. Does appear to have an outstanding hold out of Carnesville, Georgia, for a probation violation. The date on that warrant was May the 6th, 2024. The underlying charge was not listed. Does have a prior felony conviction that was in 2016 out of Franklin County, Georgia, for financial transaction card theft and 2 counts of forgery in the first degree. And there are misdemeanor convictions and a sentence. So one in 2025 out of Tennessee for theft by shoplifting. One in 2011 for driving without a valid license. And received a nolo contendere sentence in 2011 out of Decatur, Georgia for driving while license suspended or revoked. And this one in 2009 for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Simpson, Ms. Jackson shared the possibility of a probation warrant out there. Is Ms. George on felony probation somewhere?
Yes, Judge, she is on probation in Franklin County, and currently has a probation warrant that has been told. They have advised that they would not transport outside of 90 miles. However, the warrant is still valid, so they are recommended she turn herself in once she has resolved her case here.
Got it. Now I'm remembering, because this is what Ms. George was telling us, that my family tells me that there is no hold out of Franklin, and technically that's correct. There's not a hold, but there's a valid warrant, which puts a judge in a complicated scenario, because there's a warrant for your arrest, but Franklin isn't willing to spend the money to come get Ms. George. I'm assuming Franklin County is more than 90 miles away if they're saying we're not going to come get you. So
they're up under the cusp of 90 miles.
Okay, so they're 89 and a half or 91. Well, they shouldn't make it complicated like that, but here we are. Okay, thank you for sharing all that. Mr. Bernard, tell me about your client and the situation and what your recommendation is.
Yes, Judge. And just for the record, I did also call Franklin probation. They indicated that they weren't going to come get Ms. George, but that the warrant is still valid. So we'll still have to deal with that. All that aside, Judge, Miss George is the owner, along with her sister, her daughter, of Critique Styles, where they do hair. They've had that business for 5 years. Miss George also is the primary caretaker of her daughter. Her daughter attends Boise State College. She lives up in New York. Judge, if released, she would be released to her apartment at 4371 Glenwood Road, where her dad lives there. Her dad lives with her. Judge, what we're asking for in this case is we're not too far apart. We're asking for a year to serve 3 months. We believe that's the time that Ms. George has served. And we would ask that Your Honor follow that recommendation, allow her to get this matter behind her so that we can move on to handle Franklin.
Okay. It's 84.1 miles from here, where I am right now, to Carnesville. That's less than 90. But okay, it is on the cusp. Tell me, either Mr. Bernard or Ms. George, either one, how does Mr. Gay connect to Ms. George?
Me and Mr. Gay have been legally married for the past 3 years. I am filing for divorce once I get out the situation for infidelity issues. But we're not really on good terms or speaking terms at the moment, so I don't have any connection.
But back in March, this dates back to March of last year. You and Mr. Gay you were married, and there's a connection there where you might be sending him books with funny paper in the books.
I was unaware of that part. I was just told to mail the books off, so that's what I did.
Got it. And you're the one who, willingly or not, you mailed the books to him. They ended up containing contraband.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Who asked you to send him books?
Mr. Gay did himself.
What did he say? Just go to a bookstore and buy Midnight Love?
No, specifically.
But where did you get the books?
At a bookstore, and I mailed them from the bookstore directly.
Well, you're leaving me confused, because if I walk into Barnes and Noble and buy Midnight Love or whatever it was called, there's not going to be drugs in that book. Did you go to a special bookstore and talk to a special bookstore salesman and wink and say, I need the special copy of Midnight Love? Or how did this happen?
I'm assuming someone already went ahead and planted the strips of whatever the stuff was inside of the books, and I just went and purchased those specific books that he asked me to, and I mailed them in from the store.
Okay. All right. When's the last time you had any communication with Mr. Gay?
It's been months.
All right. The case in Tennessee, is that open and you're going to need to deal with it, or was it resolved?
It was resolved. They gave me credit for 2 weeks, and I had to agree to get extradited to Atlanta for this case.
Okay. I think you told me that before.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else, Ms. George, you think I ought to know?
No, not at the moment. I'm just ready to go home. You put this behind me. If y'all can just please give me another chance at my freedom, this won't happen again.
Okay. Got it. All right. Well, Ms. George, I find there's a factual basis for your plea. You mailed the books. Your defense would be, I didn't know what was in them. I hear that. But a jury could decide that it was knowable or should have been known and hold you responsible for that. And who knows what Mr. Gay would say. If he were called to testify, he might say, yeah, I told her that there were special books. Either way, I also find that your plea is knowing and voluntary, meaning you've understood what we talked about and no one's forcing you to enter this plea. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Bernard, can someone on my team sign the indictment on your behalf?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Davis, can we sign for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
This may be one of your last electronic signatures in the McBurney division. It's kind of sad. Ms. George, is it okay if we electronically sign your name to the indictment indicating your guilty plea?
Yes, sir, that's fine.
All right, we'll do that. Ms. George, I am going to, in light of what I learned about criminal history, what's going on in Franklin County, et cetera, I'm going to sentence you to 1 year to serve 6 months with the balance suspended. The only condition of your suspended sentence is that for those 6 months, you obey the laws of Georgia and the other 49 states and the United States. You're not reporting to anyone. There are no limits on your travel. I think you had told me you have friends or family in New York. You can go there, you can go to Tennessee, you can run your business with your daughter locally. You just need to stay out of trouble during those 6 months. You will get credit for all the time that you've been in custody. When you are released, you don't need to, as I said, report anywhere other than you should know that there's this Franklin County situation. And I am going to do a little outreach to see if there is a way that either they'll come pick you up or we can get you there, so that while you are earning the good time on this sentence, you can get to Franklin County and work through that. And hopefully they'll look at what happened here and say, that's fine. We're going to run whatever we do in Franklin concurrently with the situation in Fulton County. Do you have any questions about what I just described, Ms. George?
Just like, is there like a certain release date from Fulton County for those 6 months? And yeah, that's my only question at this moment.
Okay, there's not a date certain. What I can tell you is it wouldn't be any longer than, I had you down as having done 72 days, so a little less than 3 months, which is what Mr. Bernard had asked for. But the most it would be, let's say you've done 90 days, the most it would be another 90 days. It could not be longer than that. But if you stay locally, and given the shortness of the sentence, you likely will, then you're eligible for early release credit from the sheriff. That's his option. I don't control that. I don't get in the way of that. So this is very much a parolable offense. So the most it would be however much time you served, subtract that from the 6 months, and that's all that's left. But I suspect it would be less than that. I just can't promise one way or the other. I do need to ask you one more question, Ms. George. You are taking this plea early enough in the process that you have the right to withdraw your plea if you think you'd get a better result by staying where you are and waiting to go to trial. I don't want to prevent you from making that decision. But you also can say, nah, I'm good. It's not the sentence I asked for, but it's less than what the state asked for, and I just soon deal with it this way. Do you want to go forward with your plea, or do you want to withdraw your plea and you and Mr. Bernard take this to trial?
The time that I'm being sentenced on, does this mean I'm gonna go to DOC?
So I doubt it, because it's not much time left at all. But I don't control that. Mr. Bernard can reach out to you after this call and talk to you more about that. But I'd be surprised if that's how it plays out. But if you do, that actually might shorten your sentence even more, because they would quickly look at you on the parole grid and say, there's only 3 months left. Why are you even here? But that's a space I don't operate in. I don't control that either way.
Okay, I want to move forward with the.
Okay, then I will make sure the final disposition gets signed in the next day or so. And I'll do exactly what I said, which is coordinate with our sheriff and Franklin County to see if there's a way that we could get you there, so you don't have that burden when you get out of, hey, I'm home, it's great to see you guys, but now I gotta go to Franklin County and they may grab me again. It's much more efficient if we could get you there while you are working down this last little bit of your sentence. Ms. Davis, anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bernard, anything on behalf of Ms. George?
No, Judge.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Ms. George, when you are released, good luck with things. Stop sending books to people in jail, okay?
I will.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Bernard.
Thanks.
Ms. Reynolds, I think that's it. Those are all the inmates. Thank you for having everyone where they needed to be when we got to them.
No problem. Have a good day.
You too. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks, Ms. Jackson, Ms. Simpson.
Have a great one, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.